Hi Libra, welcome to your June 2017 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So, where is the concentration of energy for Libra in June? Looking at the thing that I have just created here, my list of transits, it looks like it's the 10th house of career for you. So, let me set the table here, or set the stage. Mars is going to be in your 9th house up until the 4th of the month in your sister air sign Gemini. And actually, this is coming in from May. So there's a lot of that desire for higher education, for philosophical exploration, travel, long distance travel, that kind of influence, expansive influence, coming into the month of June. And then Mars goes into Cancer, and that's your 10th house of career, okay? And your reputation in the world, how other people see you. And so this gives you quite a lot of drive to achieve things career-wise. And you're supported in this when the sun goes into this sector on the 21st, at the time of the solstice. When the sun changes from Gemini to Cancer, then it's going to be the sun in that 10th house. So that is you as this person who is feeling very confident in terms of your professional life, and perhaps there are good things happening for you. There's a new moon in that sector 2 days later. So you can see that you start out with this ambition and you end up with the glory and a new beginning at the end of the month. So what else is happening? Well, here's another interesting thing. You have Mercury in the 8th house until the 6th of the month. And the 8th house is the house of other people's money, the house of, this could be, by the way, like inheritance issues. You might have to sign contracts. Let's say you're divorcing and you have some kind of legal stuff that you have to agree upon, and there could be some contracts about that, but there might be loans, things of that nature. And on the 6th, Mercury goes into that 9th house. And the 9th house, obviously, is where Mars has just been, the house of expansion. So Mercury is our intellectual prowess, or the way that we process information. And so in that 9th house, that is Sagittarius' natural house, for some people, there is going to be some connection with academia, where you may be drawn to study something. You may be drawn to communicate. Even writing can be the 9th house, publishing. There may be something along those lines. And on the same day, Venus goes into the 8th house. So Venus can bring money with her. It's your ruler, Libra. But that makes me wonder if you are gaining money through other people for some reason, whether it be through an inheritance issue or an estate, like an estate, or in some kind of divorce agreement that you are splitting property or something along those lines. Or maybe somebody just gives you something out of the blue financially. But because Mercury has just been in this house, it makes me wonder if it is something that you've had to deliberate upon and even sign contracts about. Venus, up until that time, will have been in your 7th house of marriage. So I had just mentioned possible divorce. Is it possible for Venus to transit through the 7th house and then end up in divorce? I do believe so, because Venus can also be, I'm sorry, the 7th house can also be like legal matters, okay? So Venus restores harmony, also brings money through these in these areas. So it is entirely possible that if you were warring with a spouse because of splitting up, that harmony is restored and you're able to come to some agreement. Now, for some people who do not want to be divorced, it doesn't have to be that at all. It could be actually that your relationship is even more in tune romantically than usual. Venus is very happy in the 7th house because it rules it. On the 9th of the month, this is an important date for Libra, okay? Because Jupiter has been transiting your sign. And it went retrograde, Jupiter, in February. And on June 9th, there are two major astrological events. Jupiter turns direct. I believe it's at 13 degrees of Libra. And there's a full moon in Sagittarius. So Jupiter turning direct in your sign is all systems go for you in general. Because when Jupiter is in your sign, it's a start of a whole new 12-year cycle for you. So anything that may have felt like it was not progressing for you since the winter, you may, we'll say the late winter if it's February, you may start to see that things improve, and you may be very happy to hear about this because you may be feeling like you were spinning your wheels to some degree. Now, in the 1st house, this can especially be about issues connected to promoting yourself. Perhaps if you have your own business, you were feeling like it was taking twice as much effort to accomplish the same thing. On the same day, we have that full moon in Sagittarius, and this is in your 3rd house of communication. This is a mental house, a communication house, because it's ruled by your fellow air sign, Gemini. So there is this theme of the 3rd house that can deal with any form of communication. In 2017, we typically think of the internet. So internet-based stuff. Maybe you are working on something and you have some kind of a project, a website gets finished. You're maybe even launching a website, or you're just some kind of receiving attention from something along those lines. It's highlighted. You find out something online about someone. The 3rd house can also be about siblings. So you may have either some awareness about news from a sibling, get some kind of communication about a sibling, or possible, in some cases, if you're not getting along with them, you just kind of are not dealing with them right now. There could be all kinds of things. But I find that it's very, faded, this June 9th, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. And so you have Jupiter going direct in your sign, and then you have the full moon in Sagittarius. So on the same day. Okay, so we'll see what happens, won't we? The last thing I wanted to mention is that ever since May, the North Node has been in Leo. And for you, that's your 11th house of hopes and wishes and friendships, group associations. So the North Node being kind of like this destiny, but I see it in a very positive way. Perhaps something you've really been wanting to come to fruition will happen. When I say hopes and wishes, you can also look at it as long-term goals. And maybe you will fulfill that during the next 18 months when the North Node is transiting through that 11th house. So that's very, they say the 11th house is the luckiest house. So to me, it seems to me, Libra, that you really have luck on your side in a lot of ways, because right now you have Jupiter in your sign until October, and then you have this North Node in the 11th house. So anyway, we'll see what happens, won't we? And actually, in August, there will be a new moon in that sector, along with that north node. So that should be very interesting. And actually, when I said new moon, I should have said solar eclipse, which is more the case, which is even more powerful. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up in a few months. But in any case, Libra, before I go, I just wanted to make sure, I never say this when I do these astrology forecasts, that this is for the sun and the rising sign of Libra. And whether you're watching for your sun or your rising, please remember that this is general, because your actual degree of sun or rising, and that depends on the date, is going to be different. And so some of these timing issues can be different. And if you'd like a private reading, and that's where I use your natal chart, I have a special on my natal chart interpretation, and I have other types of readings. You can go to ReinaMoonAstrology.com or click on the link below. It'll take you to my shop. And yeah, it's otherwise. And the only reason I say that about talking about general readings is because it is the truth, you know. And when I first started watching readings, I wasn't aware of that. I was really into astrology, but I wasn't into predictive astrology. And so it totally escaped my understanding that, you know, the degree of the sun sign or the degree of the rising sign really plays a part into when these things unfold, you know. So in any case, I wish you all the best for June, and take care of yourselves. Bye.